Hello and welcome. My name is Derek. Time of day is that of January the 3rd, 6:48 p.m. Eastern. This is the Money Charts channel, all bets, trades, and of the like within each's own risk and their own reward. And oh my goodness, and this is getting real. It looks like the dartboard bull market rally is entering into position. Let's go over analysis on the markets. We'll see if that comes into play. I'll look at Bitcoin dominance because, of course, Bitcoin dominance has been in an uptrend, which dartboard rally would be the opposite of that. And it's only been one down day, but we'll take a look at that coming in a little bit. Now, these lines, 23.6, 38, 61, and 76.4% from the $20,000 highs from 2017 and the lows a little bit after that. And that's retracement mode from here to here. And at some point, when you get a very, very clear major breakout above, I had these lines in drawn for, so it seems like years and decades, but months and months and months and months. Remove drawings, gone. Don't need them on here anymore at this time. Oh, there'll be Fibonacci from this low when we have it. And I have to decide, do I do this low or this low? The results will be relatively close to the same though. But for now, the price of Bitcoin, the week is almost over. There's only 10 minutes and 11 seconds left in it because it's 6:49 p.m. and it finishes at 7 p.m. And it's up 26%. Last, it was 11.8, 22.4. A fantastic move it's been having. Today's session up 3.18%, a new all-time high today. It comes in at $34,810. When did that happen? That happened at around 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's when the dominance on Bitcoin would taken the change with everything. So as everything goes, I don't want to go over everything. Still barely overextended on the monthly and all that. So let's go to Bitcoin dominance, 70.26 on the trading view number. And of course, again, over the 18 average of highs, pretty much at the upper end of the range that it's been in since the middle part, early part of, or the third mark way through of 2017, or the last almost 4 years. So that doesn't look bearish in any means. And even today, it's just, today's day is not the all-time high, but the high is not seen in, how long now? Well, I guess it got above this high so a long time ago. It's major highs today. But it is also lows not seen since December 30th, which again isn't much, but down session at that of 3.2% on the dominance. And in the hourly time frame, when did this all start? Well, it started right when Bitcoin topped around 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's take a look at some altcoins. First, let's take a look against Ethereum against the dollar. It's priced in at $992, basically $1,000. And it has had a monster break above this key Fibonacci line. Potential level of resistance. Well, it destroyed it today, and just recently for that matter. Well, I guess all day it's been doing it. No, not recently. And it did come up to it at the yesterday's session. And then on January the 2nd, that is, showing strength amongst the 18 average of highs after. Then when you have a break above it, especially at like 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock in the morning, from 788 to 985. That's the gain we have on the Ether side, up 27.2%. And it's been an uptrend for a decent amount of time. Many higher highs and higher lows, a definition of trend. And we can see many of them here. It's getting above the level of resistance it had in here. But it's still in retracement mode from this low to this high. But it's not getting above the 76.4. So, and for move from point A high, and point A high is the start of 2018. And point B low, which is pretty much near the end of 2018, start of 2019. For that to be a failed move, if it can break and hold and stay above 61.8, which is this 474 line, then that indicates it's a failed move. So this sell-off is a failure. Had it been able to hold and stay below it, and then you see it go lower, then it would be a successful down move, and you'd be looking at retesting the low and going lower. Of course, not happening. And it did show strength in here, but until it got above it, and it did so in the middle of November, that's what's telling you, okay, so we're going to go to this level of potential resistance. It did. That check mark happened today. Now what situation? Well, now what it is just bolting through it so far. And the 76 is like, it's got some decent significance, but it's not as big as these the two lines in the middle. And now I'm at the situation where I'm looking, well, previous high, what's that coming in at? 1300. And then breaking above that, I mean, now we're going to talk about, does this have the potential to go to 5 figures? If not, how high in the 4 figures will it go? As far as Ethereum against the Bitcoin, this is a situation in which it's had a decent sized run over the last year and change. This level of resistance, it managed to have another leg higher, matching this previous level. Now we can talk about an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Left, head, and right. I got a lot of stuff to go over, so that's it for this time frame on Ethereum. But I got I can go through different time frames. Shorter term time frame, it's already had a major breakout of a double bottom formation, which might be able to see a little clearly on the short term. It's basically all of this in here. Left, right, break of neckline, and it's already had a good move. And here's this level of previous resistance. Now I'm going to be looking at it. Now we're here as a potential level of resistance. If it's not, then we got this little general area in here, which coincides with this level of resistance. So 32, 33 handle as the next key leg. If this is not such, and support now, of course, well, where did we come from? And what would be that part of the right part of the head and shoulders if it were to do it? And then on the 4-hour term, just nice little break, not resisting in here. And just for something to do, I'll put a line in here and see how much resistance did it have in today's session. Okay, well 15, not really. It supported it after it, though. It did support it, and on the 55, it didn't have any. And on the 1 minute, well, it did resist it at 11:01 in the morning. Next chart is that of Bitcoin Cash. And I'm going to show it against the Bitcoin, which is 0.012839. Still in the decline, still within the 18 average, declining 18 average. And price action has managed to make it to the 18 average of highs in today's session. And all of these rallies that is attempted have done nothing but fail. It had one last October, failed. Big one here in November, fail. Couple, but the notable one in the round right before Christmas, fail. And it got up to the 18 average of highs December 20th, as it is doing so again today. When you look at this via the 4-hour term time frame, you can just see even more so on how these failed moves have just failed to hold up on the short term. Eventually, it's going to do so, I truly believe. Whether it's a real move or a failed move, that's why it's such a high probability. And I just let the market do what it does. And when there's going to be big moves, I'll react to these after the fact, and right now it's attempting another breakout stage. And what a precipitous down move this was from, and this is against the Bitcoin because Bitcoin's been kicking ass. So a lot of these markets have been getting destroyed against the Bitcoin. Oh, we go down from the 140 handle to 106, and yet you're actually gaining against the dollar. And that's just the way the game works, and Bitcoin 3x's it as fast as it does. 4x even, whatever. I mean, it's been a phenomenal Bitcoin move, and it looks like a phenomenal move within many other coins are coming into play right now as well. So that it gets above it 4 o'clock in the morning on January the 3rd, which is the Sunday session, and we go from the 105 handle now at 128, so it's up like over 20%. And again, whatever, it's nothing too fantastic. When these things go, they can really, really go. And I've said so many times, and I haven't said it much lately, and I'm expecting and hoping to soon more. Markets go up a lot faster than they go down. So how long did it take to go down from, say, 200 to 20 handle? Well, it's well, I got the date. The date was November 24th. That's a month plus another another week or so. Maybe a month and a third. So now what? A third of a month to get it back? Maybe a little more. Between a third and a half. That's the generality, the normality within these. We'll see if that does come into play, but yeah, when they go, they are ready to go. And the next market is that of LITECOIN. And I did a video on this yesterday stating, oh, buy signal. Yeah, I guess it was. I mean, everything's going up too, but LITECOIN's up 17.5% today. The market closes in 43 seconds. It's 6:59 p.m. Eastern time. It was such a powerful buy signal because, to me, we come up to this level on December the 19th, pull back in here, and then this is a big one here, December 26th and 7th. How it comes up to this key Fibonacci point, a level in which it hadn't have been to since, well, it had a test here in the middle of 2019, so a year and change. It's been a long time. and how it's reacting to it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days up to January the 1st. Just hanging in there, and even into yesterday's session. But how it was able to close and break out like this was just telling me, yippers, LITECOIN is probably ready to take off. And as it goes, we can see in here, so it goes. Doesn't resist the fib, rather it supports it when it comes up to it on 11 o'clock in yesterday's session. And the big excitation occurred at 1 o'clock in the morning. Not like I wasn't surprised, because I posted it before this happened. Somewhere while it was showing strength at the highs, I was stating, yeah, watch out for LITECOIN, looking like it's going to take off, and it does. Nice little correctionary phase from 6 a.m. in the morning up to that of, and it really completed it on the downside at 1500 Eastern time, 3 p.m. Eastern, or 8 p.m. UTC, or 20 hours ETC. And it's just now continuing to go up, broken the intraday resistance of 159 2/3. Now in at the 162 handle. On the monthly term time frame, here we have the double bottom, basically left and then right. It was an attempt to get above the 18 hour, or the 18. It was an attempt getting above the 18 average of highs on this time frame. It started 2019 here, failing to do so. Now it's another attempt, and it's been holding on pretty good because it's completed one full period, and well, it's barely in this month, but we're up 31%, and it's the 3rd day of January. Or it's done 3 complete days. Next key level is $210. It's that 76.4 level. It's decent. I don't give it as much notoriety as this. But again, this is also telling me that the move from this high to this low is a failed move. And the fact that these make these higher lows like they do when looking at it via the log scale. This low to this high. This tells me that it's holding and staying above the 61.8. That's a real move so far. And when you see it holding above that, and then you make it back to previous high, thus breaking above the 61.8 from the low to high like in here, the story usually goes the same. We've seen it with Bitcoin. Bitcoin breaks the 20. Oh, how do you do? We're at 34,000 or so now. Whatever, well over 30. So next thing you know, this thing will break this number. Oh, 5, 6, 7, 800,000 kind of deal. Now we'll see if we get to the 2 and 3 number of the 1,000 per coin. We do have a lot of sick gains that can occur within these markets. Okay, that's it for cryptocurrencies. But the precious metals are on the roll today, or they opened significantly higher for precious metals today on the Sunday. Silver priced in at $27.03. And you know what's interesting? Bitcoin, all these cryptos are up like 30% for the year already. And I'm like, yeah, the Dow Jones is going to do good this year. And oh my goodness, yeah, it might get 30% for the year, and Bitcoin's already done it. Or how long is it going to take for it to get 30%? And even for that matter, gold and silver, how long would it take for gold to get 30%? 30% from here. Well, 2.5 times 3. That's like $7.5, $8. So well into the mid 30s. Does it happen this week? Probably not. Could it? I guess, suppose it could. Highly unlikely this week to occur, and it's even highly unlikely to happen by the end of the month. Albeit possible. I like how it is leaving the 18 average of highs on this. And it's been like such a long, okay, when are we ready to go? Because silver had a nice little breakout at the start of the previous decade. Correctionary phase exhausted itself at the end of 2012. So 2013 all the way down years, 2013, 14, 15. Price action never even coming close to touching the 18 average of highs. It did so here in 2016. So the first attempt to get out, well, it really took 4 years for it to really process itself through, which it did this last July. It never had much of a failed breakdown before. I mean, it positively or correctly tested previous hit support. And from doing so, it attempted another breakout here at this level. And within a correctionary phase, it was successful via holding and staying within the 18, because that was well below it. And it's had one full period, pretty much April, below the thing. But how it was able to not spend hardly any action below it, get up to it, then to the 18 average of highs so fast. That's my definition, and actions within that of holding and staying within a particular area. So you have the hold month last June, 2 significant months breaking established resistance, coming back, didn't go back to where we came from, albeit close, and now leaving the 18 as it is. And you see it. This is the same old story. This rally is showing success thus far. It's barely retraced anything at all. Heck, it's got to come down. It's got to go well below 18 to tell me it's going to fail. It's not even close to going to that level. So now we got retracement from this high to this low, which I might as well calculate since I know how to do it. I might have calculated and forgot those numbers before, but the high was $29.92. So I'm going to take that number and I'm going to divide that by what the lowest price was. I got the lowest price in here at $21.81. I can see. Yep, so $21.81. The 61.8 number is the key one, and that's $26.52. $26.52. How is $26.52 reacted on here? Well, we finished off the previous week resisting within that area. So now it's attempting this week and this day to exit away from such and in turn state that the selling that has been in place since the top of the August, really the entire sideways range, and any type of bearish negative pressure is nothing but a failure. Okay, so next move is up to that 29, and I've talked about weak resistance there. Yeah, I'd be expecting that to take place, to be weak there. Why do we only have one period for the hourly? I mean, it's 7:06. I should be on hour number 2, should we not? Anyway, there's a gap up. Gap being well above where it is, and so to me, I see something like this. It got well above this level of resistance I'd be looking at. And I also look at Fibonacci from this low to this high. So right off the bat, especially if it doesn't go up any much further, or if we are at the intra move high, I'm looking at big support to be like 2683 area, which represents this level of resistance, and a decent move from where the high was, down to this major level where we came from at around 26 2/3, which also represent about a 61% correction from this high to this low. So it's just obvious. Those are the key levels. You see this, and this is the big one if it comes down here, but if it comes down to this level of support, you start to rally off and show nice moves like I've been showing with all the other charts. It's showing you the move is real. But whenever you have a breakout point like this, you get above this, especially on the gap moves with traditional markets or legacy markets, but you have the move like this, and then that key area you see, 26 2/3, if it happens to arrive and go towards there, if you notice, you see weakness in that area, and we're starting to see bearish signals breaking down from around that proximate area. Well, that's telling you a significant move could be coming, because we're looking at that failed breakout that would have happened earlier, because it's either a failed breakout or a real breakout. And if it's a real breakout, then this area should be successful support. It's just a matter of time before it gets above this resistance as mentioned. Get to the previous mark of 27 2/3. And then as it gets towards that, then you'd be going up towards this one at 29, and then in the mid-30s, so on and so forth for after that. So that will complete it. The video, that is, for the completion of today's session. Melt up for the year, and right now everything in bull markets. That's just how the name of the game happens to be. It's like one of the most interesting things. Like, I'm looking at fantasy football as one of my it's really just a fun thing. And well, week 17 is coming to a conclusion. And I play decent stakes and have some fun every week. And I've been lucky once. I've had some 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks and a medium luck. And I even made a wager today, Tom Brady not to throw an interception. And he did pretty good in the first half to not throw one, but he did in the second. And that was a losing bet. I'm 1-2 with a positive unit record right now. But I mean, I could lose this, I could lose that, and okay, and I'm at the stage where it's like how much I make in the last 10 minutes, hour with these markets, my gold, my silver, my cryptos, everything. It's like, well, I just made this many There's that many zeros. Let's put it, even though they're not zeros. That many zeros I've just made or whatever. It's not that many zeros. It's a few though. It's more than, it's not, it's a few. All right then. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.